Hello and welcome to Pushing Back, Ukraine Daily Brief. As the war enters its 952nd day, these are the main developments from the past 24 hours. The update from the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Russia has lost approximately 657,940 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of the war. The number, which has not been independently verified, includes 1,230 casualties over the past day. According to the released Ukrainian figures, Russia lost 15 tanks, 31 armored combat vehicles, 59 artillery systems, 8 multiple launch rocket systems, 1 air defense system, 101 drones, 70 vehicles and 3 pieces of special equipment. The Russians launched 132 combat clashes and carried out 48 airstrikes, including 97 anti-aircraft missiles on the territory of Ukraine. They also used 788 kamikaze drones and carried out 3,000 attacks on the positions of Ukrainian troops and settlements using various types of weapons. In its latest intelligence update, the Institute for the Study of War. The Russian offensive effort in eastern Ukraine that began in fall 2023 continues to produce gradual Russian tactical gains in specific sectors of the front, but operationally significant gains will likely continue to elude Russian forces. Ukrainian forces are conducting an effective defense in depth along the front line, inflicting significant losses upon Russian forces while slowly giving ground but preventing the Russian military from making more rapid gains on the battlefield. Ukrainian forces do face serious operational challenges and constraints, which are providing Russian forces with opportunities to pursue tactically significant gains. Russian forces do not have the available manpower and material to continue intensified offensive efforts indefinitely, however, and current Russian offensive operations in eastern Ukraine will likely culminate in the coming months, if not weeks, as Ukrainian officials and ISW have previously assessed. Russian forces have recently made notable tactical gains but have not demonstrated a capacity to seize operationally significant objectives. The Russian military command prepared the ongoing Russian summer 2024 offensive operation for months in advance and accumulated operational reserves and resources for the operation that the recent months of attritional fighting have likely heavily degraded. Russian forces have reportedly committed a significant portion of their intended operational reserves to offensive operations in Donetsk and northern Kharkiv oblasts, indicating that the Russian military command may have prioritized forming operational reserves to support offensive operations in priority sectors of the front line over developing theater-wide strategic reserves for the entire offensive campaign in Ukraine. The Russian military command is continuing to prioritize offensive operations in priority sectors of the front line over long-term planning for Russia's theater-wide campaign in Ukraine, but the Ukrainian incursion into Kursk Oblast appears to have significantly complicated the development of Russia's operational reserves. Russian President Vladimir Putin appears to be using the Time of Heroes veteran support program to militarize regional and local government administrations and further solidify a pro-war ideology into the Russian state and society. Russian authorities continue to arrest Russian officials on charges related to mismanagement and corruption within the Russian Ministry of Defense. Strikes reportedly targeted an ammunition depot near Russia's Hymyim airbase in Latakia province, Syria overnight on October 2 to 3. Russian forces recently advanced south of Siversk and east and southeast of Pokrovsk in Donetsk Oblast. Russian authorities continue to nationalize Russian enterprises for the benefit of the federal government. In Zelensky's nightly address he spoke about 3 key areas. Firstly, NATO Secretary-General visits Kiev to discuss military support. Newly appointed NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte made his first visit to Kiev, focusing on defense support for Ukraine. Zelensky emphasized the need for timely military assistance, particularly long-range capabilities, to strengthen Ukraine's front lines and bring the war to an end. Secondly, air defense and joint missile interception discussed. With winter approaching, Zelensky stressed the importance of bolstering Ukraine's air defense, advocating for joint missile and drone interception operations with NATO. He argued that successful air defense strategies used in the Middle East, such as those aiding Israel, could be applied in Ukraine to protect civilians and NATO's borders. Lastly, Ukraine's NATO membership and frontline updates. Discussions also covered Ukraine's NATO membership progress, with Zelensky calling for full integration into the alliance to solidify European security and deter Russia. On the battlefield, Commander-in-Chief Syrskyi reported on operations in Donetsk, Kharkiv, and Zaporizhzhia, thanking key Ukrainian brigades for their resilience against Russian attacks. Thanks for following today's updates. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. We'll return tomorrow with the latest news on the ongoing conflict.